I did have one other question that I want to make sure I answer, and I want to talk about a couple of things. All right. So, for electric fields and for the material that we're about to do, last week we dealt with logarithms and we dealt with factors e to the 9, and we dealt with like a factor e to the -7. I want to remind folks that if I have multiplication for working with exponential numbers here, this is going to be 10, and I'm going to add these two numbers. And that is going to give me my factors of 10. So this would end up as or as 10 to the second. If I'm doing a division, this is going to end up as 10 to the 9th times 10 to the -7. And I'm going to end up with 10 to the 2, just like the other one. So that's how you deal with those. I had a question. So if I'm trying to write a number 3.68 times 10 to the -14, and I want to put that into WebAssign, I'm going to write that as 3.68 e to the -14. Now, I want to caution folks. This is typically the calculator that I've been using for class for a long time. Some of you may have a different calculator that has your exponents in here. We're going to be dealing with those exponents. Please, please, please make sure you understand your orders of operation for your calculator. Because what some of you are going to end up doing using one of the other calculators is if I take a number that's 9 times 10 to the 9th, and I'm going to multiply it by 3.62 times 10 to the 8th, you might enter it into the calculator and you're multiplying this exponent, not these two numbers. So you want to be very careful when you're working with your calculators, because you can run into a problem thinking you've punched it into your calculator correctly, but because of how your calculator handles orders of operations, you've ended up multiplying your exponent instead of your numbers. So you can go back and do it the old-fashioned way and pull out your exponents and do them this way, like we had to do before we had calculators, and that will help you out. Or you're going to just double check and make sure you're punching in your numbers correctly, because this is a issue with some calculators. So I wanted to remind folks of that. I wanted to remind folks of how to write things in WebAssign, because as we move into this portion, these things are going to come into play. Now, we teach electricity and magnetism kind of. Okay, stop recording.